Hello, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and I'm going to be talking about what it is shadow work. Many people have heard that term shadow work, but in reality, they don't understand what it means. It is nothing so scary or dark or sinister or something like that. It doesn't have to do anything with that. So let's dive in. How about that? I'm going to put a presentation so you not only see my face, a presentation that I make for this. So let me share my screen. If you have any questions, please write it down in the comments. I will appreciate that. If you have questions or you want to comment something, please let me know you're here. I appreciate that very much. And dive in. And you will say what authority I have for telling you what it is shadow work. But let me tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do and what it took me here precisely and what I love to do shadow work, because this is one of the things that actually can create a big transformation in all of us. So my name is Monica Ramirez and my spiritual name is the Warrior of Love. I did not name myself, guys. My spirit guides are the ones that give me my name, the Warrior of Love. I am an architect of inner transformation, and I created a system of transformation that is called Path to the Heart. And I was one of the bestsellers in Amazon with my book Transformation into Metamorphosis, that you can find it in Amazon. Soon is going to come out the second level, and it is mainly about doing the shadow work that we're going to be going in. So yes, I am a certified coach. I am a healer. I am an star seed. I'm also I am a NLP. I am also BQH, that is kind of hypnotherapy. I am now a certified uh, um, um, belief specialist. I'm also Reiki master. I am a Galactic Akashic Records reader. I am a minister at the same time. Yes, I am a podcaster that you can find a lot of this information that I share with you guys in my YouTube is completely free. And I am a public speaker. I have spoken Harvard, I have spoken Miami and UCLA, and in many symposiums and online. And of course, I am an established artist that I've been doing this for 43 years. I exhibit all around the world. So this is who I am. And what it took me there. What it took me there in reality was that I grew up in a narcissist family where no one had a value by themselves. You have value unless you have a lot of money. But growing up as a kid, you don't have that money to start in the bank or things like that, or you don't have the degrees. I was born after 11 years. So all my siblings, they were way older than me. So I had many parents. I not only had one, I had four more, plus my mother and my father. And I did not, the kid, in the time where I was born in Mexico City, basically they wanted to see the kids, but they don't want to hear them. So every time that you start asking questions, and believe me, I ask all the time questions, and that got me in a lot of trouble sometimes. It was because I like a little kid, and you're growing and you have many questions, but at the same time, no one wanted to hear me or see me. So it was easier to put me away, so like that no one had to deal with me. That took me to many mistakes as growing up, looking for being loved, looking for that protection, that being seen and being heard. And of course, I looked for the first husband that I thought that I was going to be loved and cared for. And that was not the plan. Because when you're looking for the love outside of yourself, but you're self-doubting that you are worthy, but same life is going to be showing you and teaching you things that are going to be proving you that you're right. So that took me to 4 marriages. But in my third marriage, I was getting beat up. He broke my wrist, he tried to choke me a bunch of times, and I felt that maybe that's what I meant to be here. Maybe I didn't deserve to have more. Maybe that was my life until I had a baby girl. And that's when I realized I don't want my baby girl to be growing up in a observing this as something normal, because she's gonna be looking for a man that treat her in the same way. So the love that I have for her, it is the one that make me get out of that relationship and start fighting for my life. Because in the end of that relationship, I start getting lupus. I was diagnosed with lupus, RA, fibromyalgia, and of course I was suicidal. I was having a miserable life. And what that provoked me, it was to go into a new path on trying to heal myself until actually I did it. And the people that knew me then, when I was sick, that I was swollen, that I was depressed, that I was super dramatic, life was happening to me in that time. That's how I felt. And later on, they saw me empowered, and I started, and I was not in pain. I was not swollen. I stopped taking the medications because I was not needing it anymore. That happened close to 10 years. Of course, in the meantime, I was taking all the certifications and learning more about me. I wanted to learn who I was and what it was the meaning to be alive. I have to do that. I have to fall in love with myself and forgive myself for all the mistakes that I have done. So like that, I can heal me, because that was my whole goal, to heal me and be a mother for that little girl that I had. So I wanted to talk to you. This is how I did that inner work. I came to understand whether we are connected to our trauma. We're connected to all our fears. That's why I couldn't get out of that relationship. I was judged. I felt judged by my family, by friends, by extended family, by everybody. So I was too afraid to become totally me. And I bet many of you are in that position. Sometimes I talk with people that are starting to do Reiki and things like that, and they're too afraid to actually say, you know what, I'm going not getting out of the spiritual closet. Because that happened to me when I was starting to become a Reiki master. That was one of the first certifications that I got. I was too afraid to actually put it outside, even with my name, Warrior of Love. That was too big for me because I did not know how to love myself. So I start precisely creating these changes on myself. I was needing to love myself first. So, but I was carrying all the guilt and the shame that I had thought that it was going to be haunting me forever. Well, more that I start forgiving myself for the actions, because remember, when we were in our 20s, we were not the same person that we are now. We did more mistakes then than we are doing now, but we are very different human beings now than when we were in our 20s. So I have to learn to forgive myself for all those mistakes, past mistakes that I did, so I can become the healed person that I am now. I'm not saying that I am ascended or illuminated. No, I'm still working with myself to this day. But obviously, I don't have the lupus. I am not depressed. I don't have RA or fibromyalgia. And I learned how to heal myself. And that's what I wanted to teach everybody. And that's part of doing the shadow work. And that time, because remember, I grew up in a narcissist family, there was a lot of comparison and envy in there at the same time. So in the moment I start understanding that comparing myself to others it was making me feel lesser, or else I was going to compare myself to others. Oh, they're bigger than me, they're more knowledgeable than me, and blah, blah, blah. Well, if I wanted to learn more, I just have to study more. If I wanted to learn how to do all those things, I have to do the inner work. But I did not have to live exactly as everybody else and be just someone else. I wanted to be as unique as me. And becoming an artist, it teach me about original or being original, because an art gallery would not accept a copy of someone else. It will only accept original art pieces. So that gave me the view, the how I can become the unique being that I am. Not only my art pieces that I was doing, exhibiting in galleries, as Monica that I am. And I am a Scorpio. And believe me, most of the people that I know in this plane, we're traumatized for different things. It can be even a car accident. It can be grieving. It can be losing a job. It can be many of our traumas come from our childhood with the programs. So we have triggers. The triggers are different memories from the past that when you're presented in the now, they are gonna be present. They're gonna make you react in one way or the other. So if you observe every single human being, we are connected to our traumas until we chose different. And now you will say, yes, but tell me what it is, shadow work. Because it took me a while to myself to understand that what I was doing, that it is called shadow work. So shadow work is the process of exploring all those parts of ourselves that they're hiding, because we try to shove all the pain, all the traumas, all the bad memories like they never existed. But in reality, they did exist and they're still there, and they're running a program inside of you. That's why I have heard many people, and I used to be one of those people that used to say, all the men are gonna hurt me. No, my family do not love me, and so on so. And those were programs that I had in me because of the past trauma that I have lived, like probably some of you. And yes, we can become coaches and healers and Reiki masters and so forth. But if you have not done the shadow work, what is going to happen? You're going to be projecting that to your own clients. Those are the triggers that I'm talking about. Let's say if you have issues of not believing in yourself, how you're going to teach someone to believe in themselves when you're lacking of the same thing? How many times I'm having some notes here, guys, so you see me looking down is to my notes that I have. So if you're trying to you might put all the probably the marketing that everybody would show you and teach you, because right now there are tons of people teaching all that. But it is, if you have not, your shadow parts are going to be showing up every single turn that you give, and you might sabotage your own self. You're carrying the shame, guilt, comparing yourself, the fears are going to be showing up. You get the triggers and you don't know how to deal with them. They're going to be showing up in your own personal life, and you can project that to others and your clients. If you have not come out of the spiritual closet, like many people call them, because you're afraid what the other people are going to think, they may think that you're crazy, and you stop yourself of moving forward in your career or in your own dreams that you want to have, the life that you actually want to have. It's going to continue going and showing up, and that is going to stop you. Those are limiting beliefs, because human beings, we are full of programs, kind of like a computer, and our subconscious, it is like the main brain, where everything is going to be showing up and you're going to act, you're going to think from that part, because everything we related to the past emotions or experience that we had, and we bring it down. So I will ask you, how many times you think you're having a new adventure, but everything you related to a past memory. So think about that, because we are made of all these shadows that there's our part of our trauma that we've been carrying on for so long, and those are limiting beliefs. So I have learned to work with these limiting beliefs in so many levels, in so many ways, and I continue finding more that I am working with my own self. I'm not gonna deny that, but I know I can help you because I have learned how to observe them and transform them. And observing is not only observing the problem, it's observing your own emotions and your own thoughts, and learning to forgive others and forgive yourself so you can love again yourself. So let's dive a little bit deeper. We have all unconscious beliefs. And those unconscious beliefs, it can be that you're not worthy. That's the majority of the human beings. Believe me, I have worked on that one for many, many years. Or that you are not capable to achieving your life dream. Or that you were supposed to, as a female Mexican, that I was supposed to only be a mother and take care of my husband and my kids, and that's it. I should not have even a future of my own. My own dreams, they're worthless. But those are programs, those are unconscious beliefs that I cannot have love, money, all at the same time. Even people that tell you part of the program, you cannot have it all. But it is just a program. That's an unconscious belief that it is not true. So it is up to you to start making different choices in achieving whatever you want in life. Now, we have repressed many emotions, like I mentioned early, where we're trying to shove them all down because we don't want to remember the past traumas that we all have. So we're feeling anger sometimes. We can feel that sadness is just boiling inside of us because we do not know how to deal with that. Or that fear that is stopping you to achieve those dreams. I grew up in Mexico. My first language is Spanish. My whole family tell me, you're never going to write a book, or you're never going to be a public speaker in English. And they even laugh about that. Well, I am a writer. And this is not the first book that I wrote. I have another one that I wrote by myself, also of poetry. And I have participated in many other books too at the same time, even one with Dr. Joe Vitale. And I have spoken in Harvard. I have spoken in UCLA. So you see, my family was completely wrong in telling me that I would never be a public speaker or a writer because my first language was Spanish. Those were limiting beliefs that they were having towards me, but that doesn't mean they apply to me. And everything that I have lived in the past, they were there to teach me something, to believe in myself. They were just lessons. You see, everything that you live in the past, they were just lessons if you learned how to observe them, or you are going to relive them over and over and over until you choose different. In the trigger parts, you might react to different situations or many people. You can react even violently or react as going into a deep depression. The triggers can be working different ways until you learn what are your triggers. How many of you do not even know yourself? What do you like? What is your favorite color, your favorite aroma, your favorite flavor? Because we were trained to please others all the time that we lose ourselves in the trajectory. So knowing ourselves help us to do that shadow work that I'm talking about. Because then you're going to know, okay, if someone is yelling at me, that make me react. Okay, how I can react in a different way. And I teach all this in the membership that I'm going to be offering. So like that, you can know how you can react in a different way and not in the same way that make you feel with guilt and shame and the blame every time that you do it. So, and now let's talk about the fears. The fears is a very limiting belief that we all have. Once in a while, I find more fears that I have to overcome, but I'm not afraid to overcome. Something that I read a long time ago, I cannot remember from who, that says every single warrior, when they go to battle, that doesn't mean that they don't go with fears. They just have the courage to go to battle with those fears. That's the only difference between a warrior and a person that just wants to stay at home in a safe place. So many of the fears that we're carrying from our ancestors. Epigenetics talks about this. That doesn't have to do anything even with us, but we inherit those fears and we assume they're even ours when they don't even belong to us. We have, and many of them are fears of rejection, of failure, and we start sabotaging ourselves and what we really want. How many times you have done that? Just think about that. Because you might do it in your own business. It doesn't matter if you're a coach, a healer, or a therapist. How many times you sabotage yourself with that? You might have the opportunities and the fear will paralyze you and you say no. Imagine if I say no when I got invited to go to speak in Harvard. Of course, I had a lot of fears to go to Harvard and speak in English about my personal life and to be a motivational speaker. Oh my God, my legs would not stop tingling. But even with all that fear that I had in that moment, I did it. And the first time it was the hardest, the second and the third, and all the times that came after that, they've been easier and easier. I can teach you how to overcome that. So you don't get influenced and sabotage yourself to moving forward. Now, we have, as human beings, we have many insecurities. They are going to be showing up over and over and over. You might feel inadequate or you don't belong or you're not worthy. How many of you have not felt that? Because for sure, I have felt that since I was growing up, and I have to overcome that. And knowing that I deserve to be alive and I deserve to do whatever I wish to and not be imposed by others by their own benefit. I only had the permission by my family to be an artist, not a coach or a healer. That was not my job. Like the same apply for I should not be a writer or a speaker. And I have to overcome all those insecurities. I can show you how you can overcome those insecurities so you can actually achieve your dream life. Like I am doing that. I am achieving my dream life. And I'm not saying that I'm not have to work with myself achieving that. Of course I do. I'm still human, just like you. But like I mentioned before, the judgments of others, they were really, really strong on me. And they stopped me to do many things. I remember when I'm more being a divorced woman 4 times, I was so afraid to, what are the other people are going to think about me? They're going to think that I am a gold digger, that I am a prostitute, that I treat bad men, that I do that. No, I'm not anything of that. But that was keeping me with a man that used to beat me, my third husband. Because it took me 5 years to get out of that until I overcome all this judgment. I did not even have the support of my family, even if they saw me with a broken arm or with a hands mark in my neck where I was trying to get choked. I did not have the support of anyone. And I have to overcome all that. And I know how you can do it yourself. Maybe you're in the wrong job and your insecurities or the judgments of others are keeping you there. Or maybe you're too afraid to get out of the spiritual closet and say, you know what, I am a healer, I am a channeler, I am this, I am that, whatever you want to be. That's not my job to tell you who you are going to be. But my job will be is teaching you how you can overcome all that so you can be whatever you want to be and experience the life that you want to experience. How many of you have unmet needs? Yes, those aspects of your inner child that they were neglected. Your inner child cries with inside of you all the time because it still needs to feel love and protected, listened or seen or heard. And that inner child is still inside of you if you have not done that inner child work. We are going to work on that in the membership. Or the shadow behaviors, like you might have habits or you might have actions that they're not making you feel proud, and you tend to hide yourself from what you want to achieve. Even if you say, I'm going to be coaching people, but you're too afraid because you don't feel good enough, you don't feel strong enough or wise enough or enough certification, so you take another certification and another certification and another certification. And one thing is to do it because you want to learn more for curiosity, and another way is to take them because you don't feel good enough. So we are going to be working with those shadow selves, with the sabotage. That is a big one that we're going to be working because we tend to sabotage ourselves all the time. And it can be to many, many ways, not only from our physical body, but it can be not showing up. And look, guys, it takes a lot to show up in camera. Here I have close to 4,000 friends in my Facebook. I am here in my wall, and I'm here talking to you what it is shadow work. I'm not afraid to present myself and talk about my past, my life. I'm being vulnerable with you. And that's how I teach my classes. What happens when you don't work with your inner self? You're going to self-sabotage yourself constantly because there are behaviors that are going to take you there over and over and over again, like procrastination, like perfectionism. It's not perfect, so I cannot do it. Or you're going to be pushing people away because that's part of the self-sabotage. Or you're going to have emotion reactions. That's one of the triggers that we're talking about. You're going to feel jealousy, you're going to feel anxiety, you're going to get in situations that they're going to be proving you right why you're not going to be showing up. And like that, you have material to say, oh, I'm very disappointed of myself, so I'm going to have shame and blame, and I'm going to stay where I am. And then you're going to be projecting. And not only when you project it to your own family, it is terrible situation, but when you project it to the people that you want to help, like your clients. When I studied Reiki, even if I had an amazing, great teacher, Mario Monroy, he was a pipe carrier shaman, sun dancer, and he taught me a lot of things when I became Reiki. But he didn't teach me how to do the shadow work. And that's something that I observe in many of the Reiki teachers. They don't show you how to do the inner work. And what happened when you get a client, let's say if I get a client in that time that they have not worked with their inner child, and that's what it was presenting themselves. And I was dealing with that because I was sick with lupus, RA, and in that horrible marriage that we talked before. So I was gonna project myself with my client, even if that even if what I wanted to do, it was to help them. And you're gonna have repetitive patterns when you're not doing the shadow work. Like you're gonna be repeating unhealthy patterns in relationships and others. Like in my case, I was looking for men in my marriages. I was looking for men that did not will not appreciate me or value me, and they constantly would put me down. I remember one of the times that I was with my second husband, and I was already an artist, and my dad invited us for lunch, and I was in a cover in a magazine as an artist, and when we came in, I saw the magazine in the door, and I was like, oh, and my dad felt very proud of me, like my daughter's in the cover magazine as an artist, and my husband then he saw the photo of me, and he was just trying to hide in the restaurant, and for casuality, that I don't believe in casuality, for synchronicity, a lady grabbed that magazine, saw me sitting down there having lunch, and told me, hey, can you sign this magazine for me? And that moment, my husband just got up from the table and left. My dad was in shock because I don't did nothing wrong. But it was in a way I was looking for men that can prove me that I don't have any value because I was not seeing my own value. And that's why I was attracting that kind of man. So we're going to have repetitive patterns in ourselves until we can observe them. We can observe our emotions and our thoughts, and we're not going to settle for people that do not see our value. And the same applies for clients. How many of you have teach many classes or many workshops or therapies even for free because you don't see your value in your own self? You're gonna lack of authenticity. You're gonna try to copy whatever coach or whatever healer or whatever other person because you're not secure about yourself. And that's why you're competing with others, and that's why you're copying how they do it at the same time. And when you don't do the shadow work, also it's gonna look into physical symptoms like I had with the lupus, RA, fibromyalgia, depression, and then I was ending with also with epilepsy. That I was needing to everybody drive me because I couldn't drive for 1 year in that time. And it is because we're suppressing all those emotions. And like when I started with all those sickness, and then I was trying in a way to. I was so depressed that I did not want to be alive. I really wanted to get out, but I had a baby, so I could not just disappear from her life and just abandon the baby or died so easy. So what it was acceptable socially, it was to get sick. When I came to understand that what it was the lupus was a sickness of the immune system that attacked your main organs, defending you. And yes, I was looking for a defensor in that time because I was getting beat up. So my body says, I will defend you. Your heart do not belongs to you. Your liver do not belongs to you. Your kidneys, etc. You know, and it was attacking myself, defending myself. When I came to understand that, it's like, okay, what I stopped loving myself. I was judging myself, and I did not feel that I deserved better. So I have to undo all that so I can heal myself. I have to follow in life. I have to follow in love with life again and with my own self and forgive me for all my past mistakes. So that's how one of the ways that I heal myself. It was not through doctors or medications or therapies in that way. It was inner work that, yes, thank God I got an amazing coaches. Uh, one is Karen Janelle Davis that she helped me tremendously to start doing this shadow work. That after that is when I take all the classes, the certifications as life coach, as an NLP, as a belief specialist, and right now cognitive behavioral therapist. I'm about to finish that one. And it was because I wanted to give a better service, but I wanted to heal myself, because more healed that I am as human being, I can be a better service to others. And I was limiting. How many of you have limited your growth? You know you need to move. You know you've been in your comfortable zone for so long, but you're too afraid to move out of your comfortable zone because there's always that fear. What will happen if I don't move out of that? So you're gonna be limiting your own self with all that. You're gonna limit yourself of not growing what or achieving the life that actually you really want. So let me tell you what it is, the membership that I am offering you, because it is an excellent price, because I try to find ways to not give free my work, but at the same time that it can be affordable for everybody so they can do this, because I created this thinking of you precisely so everybody can start doing that shadow work. Well, it's a transformative and supportive community. I designed this to help you to heal in a deeply grow spiritual and connect to your true self. But you cannot achieve this if you don't learn who you are. What do you like? What is your favorite color? What are your triggers? What are your motivations behind everything? So I created this so you can learn who you are and work with yourself in all these areas. So this is some testimonials of some of my students that I'm having. One of them is Marina Garcia. Marina Garcia. She's one of my students, and Ana Castañeda. And they they've been working with me, and I have observed how much they have changed, how much they have grown. They have done the inner work, and they continue, because the inner work, it is something that is constant, but they already know how to do it. They know how to even work with this with their own clients, so they don't project themselves in others at the same time. So what I'm offering, it is a monthly recording lectures. Is basically I'm gonna have we're gonna be working with all the programs, the victim mentality, taming your ego, the shame and the guilt and the fear, the judgment, the anger, the fear, so you can react in a different way. We're going to be working with the comparison, so you stop comparing to others and you start appreciating yourself. With the envy, because there's no need to envy anyone when you know you're unique in this plane and you're here for a good purpose. So you need to learn to forgive yourself for all the past mistakes that I'm going to be teaching you how, and to love yourself again. Because when you're a little kid, you know how to love yourself. But with all the time that have passed and all the trauma that we have passed, we forgot how to love ourselves. I'm going to be giving guided meditations in videos. I'm going to be doing interventions of NLP and hypnotherapy. So like that, you can achieve this faster. And you are going to have practice and homeworks. So like that, you can anchor the knowledge that I'm going to be giving you. The lectures are going to be a monthly lectures, and in that lectures, you're going to have all that, and you're going to have a study material, so you can continue reading about that. And oh, I put it twice. Sorry about that. You're going to have also twice a month. You're going to have a Q&A with me. So like that, if you have questions or you have things that you have to deal with, that you wanna to work with someone, you're gonna have also a private group where people are going to be working in the same level as you. So you don't have to do this alone. Something that I came to understand doing this kind of work, that this kind of job, this work, it is kind of lonely because there is not too many people you can say, oh, I discovered I have PTSD because of this or that. Because not many people are open to hear you. But in this community, supported community, you will be able to talk about those things. And I'm going to be there to support you. These are two testimonials more of some of my clients that I have. One is Isabel Medina, and the other one is Ruby Ann Avila. And I'm going to be you can see this more closely later on. And what I have for you, what I offering for you in this, you're going to have the monthly life and a monthly life Akashic records. This is a bonus that I want to give you, because sometimes I find out that I can guide you or cutting contracts on vows or things like that, that they can help you to moving forward in whatever is presenting to you in your own healing process. Because shadow work, it is about the healing process that you have. And you're going to have, as a member, the 50% discount on my private sessions. So we can be coaching one-on-one if you want. And as a member, you will have the 50% discount. And I'm going to be inviting once a month a special guest that is going to be working exactly what we're working in that month. If we're working in fears, I'm going to bring, beside of giving the lecture in a video, beside of giving the meditations and the NLP interventions and so forth, I'm going to invite someone that works in that level for teaching you about how they deal with the fear or the shame or the blame or the triggers or the anger, whatever it is. So like that, to give you more support. And of course, I'm going to be with them. So you're going to see me again in there. And you see a monthly payment, it is only $55. With 2 sodas, at least in the United States, that will be, or 3 sodas, that will be the monthly payment. It is only 55. Or you can pay a year and you can save even more for $600 a year. Now, the cost of my sessions are regularly, I charge $150 for an hour and a half session. As a member, you're going to have it for only 75. So if you want more information, oops, I'm sorry about that. If you want more information, here's my website, yourwarrioroflove.com, or you can email me at monicaramirez.warrioroflove.com at gmail.com. I'm sorry about that. I hope this was helpful. And you see, shadow work, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. No one is forcing you to, but life will force you to, because you're going to continue getting those triggers, feeling that, not feeling unempowered, feeling that life is happening to you instead of seeing that life is happening for you. So like that, you can achieve the life that you meant to be living since many years ago. And it is time. It is a matter of choice. And you decide when do you want to do it. Thank you so much. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love.